This is going to be a love reading for Sagittarius. What we see from the cards is a situation that it's filled with love, but where sometimes the two of you fight and argue in a pretty intense way. But at the end of the day, they realize that they don't have anything if they don't have you. From the first card, the Five of Wands, we can see some details into those situations where you find yourself always fighting and having to deal with elements that you wish weren't there. With Five of Wands, we don't see just fighting, but we see some sort of competition in order to be in charge of the situation. And when I say in charge, I definitely don't mean having control over the other person, but overall having control over you and how you feel into the specific situation. Often when we fight with people that we love, we just realize how important they are. Because in that moment, you feel as though you might lose them and you're envisioning your life without them. And this is exactly what they're doing whenever it happens that the two of you end up in a pretty important discussion or fight. They don't always act as they want to act because they get terrified by the chance of losing you. And there are things that they want to communicate with you. There are things that bring the two of you to these discussions, but in a way they're not able to completely tell you what they think because they're afraid that you're going to walk away. And so with this Five of Wands, we see bad communication based on the fact that they're afraid to completely open up, completely tell you how they feel because they don't want to lose you. And keep in mind that this energy could go both ways, but for the sake of the reading, I'm going with the first instinct that I have by reading the story, which is telling me that this person who's afraid to completely tell the truth, it's them. And it's said they're afraid to be left out and to completely lose you. With the Five of Pentacles, in fact, we can look into their fears. There is something that always comes up whenever you act distant, whenever you are mad at them, and it's the fact that one day you can just close the door on this relationship and leave them out as though they never existed. Five of Pentacles is the second five that we see in a row here, which is telling us that inside of themselves, although they are absolutely in love with you and they love being in this relationship with you, there is still a lot of instability. There are things that need to be addressed and need to be fixed in order for this relationship to go back on track and grow in order to get to the next level. And here we can see perhaps some of the things that they're not telling you right now, maybe some of the things that are making them feel unstable. And in fact, we have Six of Pentacles reversed, where we see an energy that it's the opposite of what usually represents. Six of Pentacles talks about sharing something with someone you love, but not just giving, also receiving. And so this card being reversed, it might mean that either you or them feel as though they're not receiving enough attention, they're not receiving enough love, and overall they want more of you, they want more out of this situation. And maybe that's why also they're not admitting all of this, because they might feel that once you know that they're completely in love with you, so much that what you give to them, it's never enough, you might feel as though you have full control over the situation, as though you can hold them in the palm of your hand, therefore maybe losing some interest. And we can see with the next cards that this is absolutely not the case, but regardless of that, this is how they feel right now, and they just are having the hardest time to let go of those fears and focus on the truth, focusing on fixing this little issues that are showing up at this point in time. And this Three of Swords appearing here might be referring again to the fact that they're afraid to lose you, they're afraid to be rejected. As we were saying here, sometimes people tend to not want what they have and tend to instead going for the chase by playing games. And this could be representing their fears of you acting this way, or maybe it just represents their past where people that they were with previously acted this way. They completely opened up, they completely told them how they felt, told them that they wanted them and no one else, they wanted to build a life with them, definitely communicated things that were really important, but instead of finding someone on the other side that was on the same wavelength of theirs, they got rejected and they didn't get that love that they were giving here. And mostly they're afraid to end up in that situation again, be afraid to have their heart broken once more. But what we see with the next card, the Queen of Cups, is this need to be more confident. Queen of Cups, in fact, is an energy that is very confident on her emotions. She knows that relying on her emotions, making decisions based on her emotions, it's not a weakness. And it's not something that it's going to take her to a place where she can get hurt. The Queen of Cups knows that by showing those emotions and by staying truth to who she is, regardless of what happens on the other end, she's going to be fine. She's going to be who she is, being able to express herself and just live life fully. And this might be you on the other end, or overall, this is the energy that the cards are trying to show as the fix to this situation. In fact, we see with these two cards right here a similar message where we can understand that the key to solve this is impersonating a more female energy, here called as anima. And what this card is telling us is that in this situation, in order to be successful, in order to fix the problem, the key to do so is trusting your intuition, forget about past experiences, but just go with your heart and let love guide you. There is a lot of love in this situation that it's repressed by fears, and it's a real bummer, especially considering the potential of this connection, which is shown with the Ten of Pentacles. This is not just a happy connection, two people being in love. This is a powerful relationship that has the potential to turn into something that can last a lifetime, something that years from now you can look back at and just enjoy all of the memories and all of the things that you've built to that point. There is definitely a huge potential in this connection, and definitely a lot of love and care that you both share for each other. And in order to understand how these energies will evolve, make sure to check out the extended reading linked below. And if you want to know how these energies will evolve by the end of the month, just leave a comment, #follow up down below.